and welcome to another video. From Saijo, where I live, you can catch the normal train to Hiroshima and it takes about 40 minutes. Or you can catch the Shinkansen. The price is more than double the normal train, but instead of 40 minutes it takes about 10. So normally I catch the normal train, but every now and again I decide I'll catch the bus to the Shinkansen station and go to Hiroshima by Shinkansen. Well, today I decided to come by Shinkansen, but I decided I'd walk to the station instead of taking the bus. Now, I knew, because I've walked before, that it's about 6 kilometers from my house to the station. No problem. What I had forgotten, sort of, is how long it takes. So anyway, I just missed the last train, or the previous train, not the final train. And I have just over an hour to wait until the next one. Which of course means that taking a much faster train is actually much slower. The weather forecast for today was supposed to be clear, warm, a beautiful spring day. As you can see, it's pretty obviously not that. In fact, it's spotting with rain. Not the best day in terms of weather, but in actual fact, I have to say I wouldn't mind if there was a sudden heavy shower, because the Shinkansen trains pass through Higashihiroshima station, this station, at or close to 300 kilometers an hour. And seeing them at full speed rushing through a downpour is actually really impressive. It'd be good to take some photos and some video of it. I haven't done that for quite a while. Of course, having said that, it'll be just my luck that it clears up completely now. Anyway, let's see. By the way, the train on the right of the picture is a Kodama service. These services stop at every station, even the minor stations like Higashihiroshima. And this train is waiting for nearly 10 minutes here to let a faster train pass through. There's no doubt that the Shinkansen has been hit pretty hard by the coronavirus. I've seen photographs, in fact I've seen myself, carriages with nobody, literally nobody in them. Now, the Kodama services, like the service that just left, are local services. The idea is that if you're going somewhere further, Tokyo for example, you take a Kodama service to a major station and then change to a faster service. In actual fact, from Higashihiroshima, many people go away from Tokyo back to Hiroshima and then change to a Nozomi service to go to Tokyo. They double back on themselves because in the end it's quicker. Anyway, what that means is that the Kodama services, the services that stop here, for example, tend to be less busy than the long distance services. So it's not quite fair to judge from the number of people who were on that train just now, but glancing through the carriage windows, it did seem relatively full, which I suppose is encouraging. However, one thing that may be a factor is that people are using the Shinkansen, the local Shinkansen, for shorter journeys, but the long distance Shinkansen, the trains that go from here, from Hiroshima to Tokyo, for example, could still be relatively empty because people are trying not to travel to Tokyo still. So maybe when I get to Hiroshima, if there's a Tokyo bound train in the station, it might be worth looking at the number of passengers on that to try and get an idea what the situation is really like. But anyway, judging from the Kodama that just left this station, I wouldn't say things are back to normal, but they're certainly better than they were at the height of the pandemic. So in a way, that's good news. So this is my train. There's no real rush to get on because it stops for 8 minutes here, again, to let a faster train through. I walked right to the end of the train because normally the final carriage is less busy. However, it always used to be non-reserved, but now it's reserved, so I can't sit in that carriage. So I've come all the way to the front of the train. As I say, it was lucky that it's stopping for 8 minutes. I assume that they've increased the number of reserved carriages on the Shinkansen so that more people can get reserved seats and sit socially distant from each other. If it makes travelling by train even a little bit safer, or even if it just makes people less worried about travelling long distances by train, then I suppose it's a fair enough thing. Anyway, the front carriage doesn't look that busy really, so I'm going to get on and get my own socially distant seat. Okay, so here I am at Hiroshima Station. When I looked at the Kodama train at Higashihiroshima heading towards Osaka, it certainly did look very busy. However, the train I caught, well, there were 3 people in the first carriage, including me. So, certainly not busy. And actually, Hiroshima Station itself is almost deserted. Anyway, there is a Nozomi service bound for Tokyo, due to arrive in a couple of minutes on the platform over to the left of this picture. So I'll take a look at the first 3 carriages, which are the non-reserved carriages, and just see what it looks like. So the train that just departed was a Nozomi service to Tokyo, and as you may have been able to see, there were a fair few people on the platform. Not so many people got off, and as far as I could see, inside the carriage was not so busy either, but quite a few passengers getting on from Hiroshima. In fact, I've heard it said, I'm not sure whether it's true or not, but I've heard it said that the Shinkansen to Tokyo is really profitable only from Hiroshima. So, in a way, pandemic or no pandemic, it might really not be that surprising that the train wouldn't be so busy between Hakata, where it starts, and here, Hiroshima. Anyway, certainly not a packed train, but equally not a deserted train. So maybe a little bit encouraging. There are certainly fewer passengers than normal on the platforms, and on the trains for that matter. But despite the pandemic, there doesn't seem to have been any significant cut in Shinkansen services. So in terms of the trains, there's quite a lot of activity. And while I'm on the Shinkansen platforms, I'm going to take a few more videos. So I will show you those videos right now. I think that's just about it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the Shinkansen. Hopefully it won't be too long until we can all take the trains without worrying about the pandemic. Anyway, I'm going to leave the station now, so I will say goodbye for this video. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in a video fairly soon. Thanks, and bye for now.